Hi, I'm Samson.
Samson, what's on
I'm
your mind,
alive
man?
right now.
Yeah, you're live right now. What's on your mind, my
Yeah,
friend?
yeah. I just wanted to talk about today's revelations about the Russia story and the. I don't know. There's this fever on the some portions of the left, even up to today, right now. They still deny that there is any proof. There is no collusion, and in fact, if some of them are saying that it's Hillary that's the one that is colluding with Russia right
Come
now.
on.
I was just checking Jimmy Ross' feed. He says Hillary colluded with Russia to go against Trump. That's what he's saying right now. And this
Yeah.
is the guy that did not believe against any collusion. And then I must call out. Uh, People don't want to call out the Intercept, the Glenn Greenwald. These guys have been any fair guy, any person that is fair knows that the Intercept has been they have gone out of their way to excuse Trump on this Russian matter, and anyone that cannot say that with a clear with a clear truth has a biased agenda. From the beginning, these guys have excused Trump out of they have every single step
Hmm.
they have given Trump a leeway. But if it was Clinton, I remember how hard they went against her for any speech she did, everything. Glenn Greenwald is a hypocrite, and damn any liberal that doesn't call them out. Man, look at me. Man, they don't mention anything, Michael Tracy, nothing. But me and you know, if this was Hillary, I remember during the campaign, every single thing they went after this woman. My question is, do the same standard for Donald Trump? That's
Hmm.
my question. Glenn Greenwald is a fraud. Look at his Twitter right now. He's saying shit. He doesn't. He's still giving excuses. Well, is this, is that? It's bullshit, man. My only thing I say is uphold the same standard to the two of them. That's
Yeah.
all I ask. If you say this is bad for Hillary, it should be bad for Trump.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I ask for.
Amen.
Have the same standard because it pisses me off the mental gymnastics these people do, man. I literally believe if they see Trump with a smoking gun, it always comes back to Hillary, their hatred for Hillary. Hillary is done. Who gives a damn about Hillary? I'm like, why are we talking about Hillary uranium? What the hell does
Hey,
this?
it's Samson. Hang
I
on,
mean, what
Samson.
the hell does
Samson, I gotta cut you off real quick because haven't didn't you call and do the same exact thing last time? You went off so good. I had to ask where you from. Didn't it's like haven't you called before?
Yeah,
Yeah. Where
yeah.
are you
This is
from?
my second
Nigeria?
time calling. Yeah, but I'm from Hungary.
Hungary. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is
Yeah,
your
but
second time
I'm from
calling.
Nigeria, but I'm calling from Hungary.
So every time you call, you do this. And I appreciate your calls because you don't hold it back and you always bring something to the conversation. So go ahead and finish your thought because you're actually doing it. But I had to make sure I'm talking to the same guy. Finish your thought. Give me 30 seconds and finish
Yeah,
your thought.
yeah. Yes, no, so I just wanted you to call that mental gymnastics. I like you because you rightfully call out Peter Dow on his extremism and he's calling Bernie Sanders supporters Bernie Bros and the rest. So I call out Peter Dow, but also call out the Glenn Greenwalds and Michael Tracy's. These guys are purposefully obtuse. They are not fair actors in this case. So please call them both out. Call out the Jimmy Dawes and call out the Joy Ridge too. That's all I ask. Be fair, because these guys they are not fair. So thank you for your
Hey,
time
man.
and the touch on that.
Hey, thanks for the call, man. You trying to get me in trouble, man. Thanks for the call. But no, I'm going to answer. Follow me up on air. I got to disconnect the call for the next caller. But you trying to get me in trouble, man. And the only reason I say that is because, like, in the Twitter world, I'm friends with Glenn Greenwald. The professional world, I did some work for the Intercept. But in terms of everything that you said, in this regard, in this space, they drive me crazy. They do. Glenn, I'm sorry. You drive me crazy. Hell, bring on the show. Maybe we'll talk about it. But I mean, that entire team, man, you talk about civil liberties or free speech, the Zed, the Lee Fong. I've had Lee on the show. I've had Zed. I had the entire crew on the show. And man, they're driving me crazy. Like the double standard well, actually I think Lee is kind of quiet, if or maybe I just muted him on my timeline, maybe that's what it was. But they do make a lot of exceptions. It's not just that true. He called out Michael Tracy. That's absolutely true. They are all and I'm trying to see the source of it. I'm more interested in knowing the source of this, right? But they are one they they make unnecessary exceptions for Trump that, to be redundant, are completely unnecessary, right? And I think they do it in the name of journalistic integrity, but I think they missed the boat on this one. I think they definitely missed the boat on this, because in this case, you do not, here's what it is. Here's what it is. And this may not be fair, and I may be wrong, but I don't think I am. If your knee-jerk reaction to things tells me more than anything that you say, where's your initial tendency always fall? And what do I mean like that? If every time somebody says something negative about Donald Trump, your initial reaction is to find a way to disagree with it, even if it's a tacit disagreement, or even if it's a silent, or not a silent because they always open their mouth, a tacit disagreement, or a technical disagreement, or intellectual jujitsu, not even intellectual, but rhetorical jujitsu, right? They find a way to distract, to deflect. It's like whataboutisms, it's colloquy. It's all kind of techniques that I've seen from people like Michael Tracy. And this morning I saw one from Glenn, and I'm like, hey guys, listen, here's the deal. Jeremy Scahill too. Love them all. May never do work with them again for other reasons, but I may. But the truth of the matter is, if you really don't have a horse in this race, if you really don't have a horse in this race, then just let this thing play itself out, right? Just report the news. This is like literally one of the few places where those of us who don't like Trump and don't like the Democratic establishment, this is like one of the places where we literally can sit back and report the news. And that's it. Report the headline. Or are you saying, are we saying that we disagree with Mueller's decision to charge Manafort? How then? What is the basis of your disagreement? Are we disagreeing on the entire Russian probe into Donald Trump? Then how can you be so confident? And this is for everybody. And I'm moving on from the Intercept boys, because my main contention with them, we can argue about this to the end of the world. I don't give a damn, deal or no deal, work with you in the future or never work with you in the future. But that bullshit about this overabundance of protection of the speech of Nazis, and then I check your timeline when other people lose their right to speech and you don't say a damn thing. That right there, that's a whole different ball of wax for me. But setting that aside and moving beyond them, because anyway, I don't even have to finish that sentence. But the point is, for everyone, how can you state with such certainty that there's nothing to this Russia story? How? There's so many different avenues of opportunities where this actually could be a thing. And because of the nature of the legal system and the high standard of having to prove your case, and then if you can't prove your case, you may never bring a case, there's a possibility that all of those possibilities of opportunities for actual something and charges could just poof and be nothing, right? It could be either or. And both are realistic possibilities at this point, that those of us who are not inside of this investigation have nothing to support it one way or the other. So the only real journalistic integrity thing here to do is report the news, and let it play itself out. That's it. Now, when I saw the emails from Don Jr., I'm like, this is getting interesting. This is like the first thing that I've seen in public that makes me believe that this actually could be a real thing, right? But does it rise to the legal level of collusion? I have no idea. I'm not an attorney, one, and two, I don't have access to all of the information. So it's very possible that it could be collusion, and it's just as possible from our vantage point, from our perspective, from where we're looking. It's very possible that it could be collusion or not be collusion. But all these people are getting on their high horses, and just as much as it's aggravating to see people who swear up and down that Trump got indicted today, there is that level of stupidity that reigns. But likewise, there's this level of absurdity, of overconfidence from people on the left that most of you are either Twitter friends. I'm in a Twitter DM with you, and sometimes I'm just quiet. I'm like, there they go again. I wish Twitter didn't always notify people when you're reading emails, because I just be reading them like, there they go again. And I know y'all be reading, like, Ben be in this DM, don't say nothing. That's right, because I'm just, kick me out. Or you know, because most of the time, a lot of stuff that's being said around me, I'm like, man, I don't even have the energy to argue with y'all today. I don't. Oh, let's go back to Joy Reid. He said something about Joy Reid. Joy Reid works my last nerves on a lot of issues. I would say 99.9999% of the stuff that she talks about, because she has promoted before I go there, this is the thing. It's like the reaction to the absurdity has created an absurdity in and of itself. The reaction to the absurdity of corporate Democrats talking points and hysteria, the Red Scare, you know, because it has been pretty absurd, right? From between Rachel Maddow losing her damn mind on some nights and Joy-Ann Reid early on fueling the Red Scare on her Saturday and Sunday morning show. And it was getting quite absurd. It's like the reaction has been an overdose of antibodies, right? It's like this has been up here is where, let's start here. My microphone, if you're looking right here at my chest, is normal. This is like, you know, my chest, my goddamn chin. I ain't got no. My students from back in the day are laughing their asses off if they're seeing this and watching this. I need a laugh track. Oh my God, I just clowned myself so hard. Oh my God, I just cracked on myself so hard, and I won't. It's so bad I won't even repeat it. Holy God. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Let me bring it back in, because that was ridiculous. Whew. The reaction to Russia and the absurdity of the Red Scare that was fomented by liberal media and the Democratic Party, because it was good politics and it was good for ratings. Great politics. I actually kind of agree with the politics, because it strangled the political life of Donald Trump. And I'm sorry, we actually needed that. Okay, so from the political perspective, if this is what we had to do to stop Donald Trump in his tracks, and you see all of the things that Donald Trump has tried to do, I think politically, a masterpiece that we needed. Thank you. Because otherwise, Donald Trump would have had free reign to do whatever he wanted. We would have had the repeal of Obamacare, but he can't even get to that because he's struggling with Russia. We would have had, I don't think we would have had the travel ban, because the judges made the decisions that they made, but all of his other agenda items have been completely choked out by this Russia scandal. So politically, it has been a 100% advantageous tool that we did not have any other means of stopping the Republican onslaught. And so if people are, from that perspective, politically, it was necessary. And good job, Democrats, because otherwise, think about what Donald Trump could have accomplished in the last year. I mean, we're almost at 1 full year since the election, 10 months, 11 months since he took office. Donald Trump could have really hurt America even more than he already has. All right. But now the reaction was pretty absurd, right? But the media coverage was pretty absurd. Joy-Ann Reid's, the only person I think on MSNBC at night that didn't lose their goddamn mind was All In with Chris Hayes, and he kind of floated around. But the Rachel Maddows, lost their minds. And so the left, progressive lefts, the Glenn Greenwalds of the world, the progressive circles, other names escape me right now, but you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. They tried and they took a principled position of opposition to the opposition to Trump. The anti-Trumpers is basically what they're called. The people who are anti-Trump, right? So they took this position, and for a while it yielded pretty good analyses, right? It exposed a lot of hypocrisies and a lot of fatuousness, a lot of silliness that existed in media, liberal media. It became super easy to critique them because they were sloppy and they were almost childish with the Red Scare, and then it became dangerous. But now it's almost like they got stuck there. Right. And this is why I say all the time, and I hope you guys are following me tonight, because I'm all over the place, but it all ties together. But a while ago, I said on the show that it's important that you never get stuck in any place, and that you're always a consistent traveler, that you move from one monument to the next. And by that, I meant, you know, when you find yourself interested and believing and feeling and all absorbed in a particular ideology, a particular argument, a particular worldview, you know, it becomes easy to stay there. You build monuments there. You build entire arguments there. You build debate points there. You write out your responses. You know, it becomes your world, right? The dangerous thing about that is if you stay there too long, you become you miss the forest for the trees. You don't miss the change. You don't miss what's next. And it's important for you to be flexible enough to move. This is like a really philosophical life kind of thing, but it's true, and it's very evident here in the sense that you had people who took principled opposition to the opposition of Trump, not for the sake of supporting Trump, right? It's not that binary, but for the sake of trying to hold the most powerful people in media and in the political opposition party, hold them accountable to the techniques that they use for opposition. And in a sense, it could be a very principled stance, but it's almost like, yeah, this is where you guys were for the last 11 months. And now you're missing the point, right? You're missing the point because now it's like everything that you say is becoming almost as reactionary. It's becoming as absurd. It's becoming as ridiculous as you're becoming a version of the monster that you are opposing. And this is the best way. Okay, so instead of trying to use analogies or whatever, let me just make it plain. In their attempt to hold liberal media accountable, progressives and leftists and libertarians and people like at The Intercept and other outlets, they held a principled opposition to the opposition of Trump. And now I think they're stuck there. I think that they don't know how to do anything else besides that, because everything they do is like a knee-jerk reaction. It's like, liberal media says something, I got to find a way to oppose it, you know, because liberal media has been so ridiculous all this time, they couldn't possibly be right? Well, no, because as ridiculous, I can't believe I made this thing come full circle. Damn, I'm good. As ridiculous as Joy Reid is, that's where I started. I'm right back where I started. Yeah, give me an applause. As ridiculous as Joy Ann Reid is, as much as she fueled this Red Scare hysteria, as wrong as I think she's been, and as much as she, you know, just made me lose even more hair during the election because of how insidious her narratives and the things I just don't, you know, she's been a mess. People love her, but I can see right through it. As much as a mess as she is, she actually had a segment last week on the Uranium One deal that is actually spot on. And so if I stayed in my hyper critique of Joy Ann Reid, because 99% of the time I'm probably right, if I stayed there, then I would have ran headlong into a piece that she did on Uranium One that she's actually right about. And I would have rejected it. For many reasons, and I think that's what we have to understand is like we have to recognize our own implicit biases, man. That's like the bottom line. The bottom line is every single one of us has implicit biases. We're biased. We bring things to the conversation that jade the lens through which we see the world, right? And if your lens through which you see the world is Hillary Clinton is the devil, or Hillary Clinton is the evil, Hillary Clinton is the wrong one, Hillary Clinton is the corrupt one, Hillary Clinton represents the status quo and she's therefore the wrong, you know, all these things. If your entire lens for the last year has been Hillary Clinton is the challenge, this is how you lost. This is how H.A. Goodman lost his mind. This is how H.A. Goodman went from being, you know, he just could not fathom how oh, mother, please tell me, how do I live in a world where I can't oppose Hillary Clinton? You know, this is how people literally start losing their mind, because they could not adjust to the fact that everything you built your criticism around, everything you built your talking points around, you built your entire platform around opposing Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton is no longer here. Fox News. This goes back to the other caller. If you stayed with me at this point, I'm blessing you at this point. Because it all connects together. I'm not as lost as sometimes I feel. Fox News is exactly the same, except they are intentionally doing this, right? Whereas leftists and progressives who find themselves in this uncomfortable place where they're used to criticizing the Democratic establishment so much, and they're used to criticizing Hillary Clinton so much, and they're used to criticizing the opposition to Donald Trump vis-a-vis the Russian scare, they find themselves in a precarious position because they're uncomfortable shifting away from being in that opposition to the opposition. It didn't happen on purpose for progressives and leftists, I don't believe. But for Fox News, it's 100% on purpose. This is their brand. This is how they make their money. This is how they get them coins. They get it by finding any kind of way possible to make the next 4 years about Hillary Clinton. And she's not even in office. And this is why people make the accusation that, well, your behaviors, some of you at the Intercept and some of you who are, you know, like Michael Tracy over at the Young Turks, and some of you people who are stuck on this monument of opposition to the opposition and opposition to Hillary Clinton. You're stuck on that monument. Maybe it's not on purpose, but to us, the actions become the same, and the fruit and what you produce, what you say is almost word for word what you're going to get from Fox News. And we all know Fox News is doing it on purpose. And so that's why you get accused every now and then of just parroting right-wing talking points. You sound just like, Julian Assange. He sounds just like Fox News now. He's, some things that you find on Michael Tracy timeline, he sounds just like Sean Hannity sometimes. It's like, my God, what the hell is going on here? And it's not because you guys happen to be right together. It means it's because you're both wrong, but you're both wrong for different reasons. I think it took a principled stance to be the opposition to the opposition, but you guys have missed the boat. And there's a shift in some of the things that are happening now. And if you get stuck there in this world of opposition to the opposition and opposition to Hillary Clinton, then you're going to end up sounding as ridiculous as the propagandists over at Fox News, who have no other choice, because they've crafted their entire platform than to make the next 4 years as though the greatest threat to America is the woman who's in the woods with Bigfoot shopping in the grocery stores. And then people are going to craft. I'm running out of time. I might not even have time to talk about Pat Robertson, right? Pat Robertson. People are going to craft and create this to seem as though, no, Ben, you're missing it. Hillary Clinton is still powerful. Hillary Clinton is still running things. Yeah. Okay. All right. Folks, the Democratic Party is making moves away from Hillary Clinton. Barack Obama is still powerful. Barack Obama is still powerful. Hillary Clinton is not powerful. I mean, you want to know case in point? Let's look at the dramatic drop, if we even see donations this year, to the Clinton Foundation, because their entire brand is irrelevant now. But people have to convince themselves that Hillary Clinton is the hand behind everything else. And I'm like, man, Hillary's gone. She's irrelevant. Now, the piece, I can't just breeze past this because I know people are going to be like, oh, Ben, you said Joyanne Reed was right about Uranium One. You're goddamn right she's right about Uranium One. Where have you been? Where have you been? If you had been in my show last week, you would have seen me. She did it in 2 minutes because, she probably took my notes. yeah, whatever. I'm trying to make myself feel good here. But she did it in like a minute and a half. I did a whole show on it. And I went item by item in that article by The Hill. And the article by The Hill that started this entire Uranium One story again, that Donald Trump tweeted about, that Julian Assange tweeted about, and it got so big, not so big, but it became hook, line, and sinker, right? The Young Turks picked it up, and they were like, this is at a minimum, this is an example of, no. I mean, if you took your time to read through these arguments and to use the same skeptical lens that you've used to break apart. That's all I got right now. To break apart this opposition to Trump, this mindless, senseless opposition to Trump. If you use those same critical lenses that you use to deconstruct, that's what I was looking for, this opposition to Trump, why can't you use it on this article? Why? Because you're bringing implicit biases to the conversation and you just don't like Hillary Clinton? Or this is something that feeds your audience pretty good, the Young Turks? I mean, yeah, it's easy for you to talk about it because your audience, YouTube loves that. YouTube is the domain. Why do you think my numbers are always so low here on YouTube? YouTube is the domain of the anti-Hillary Clinton no matter what. And I can't go there. I'm sorry. I can't. I cannot go to the place where I'm anti-Hillary Clinton no matter what. I'm anti-Hillary Clinton on the things that she should be opposed on, the things that she was wrong on. And now I'm anti-talk about Hillary Clinton because she's irrelevant. Why are you talking about it? It's irrelevant. With Donald Trump, you see how ridiculous it is for the president of the United States to still be talking about the Democrats, the House should be focusing on Hillary Clinton. Why? It's so absurd that Corey Lewandowski, he used to be, was he campaign manager for Donald Trump? He was on CNN the other day, last week, and he spoke of the need for Congress to investigate the Clinton administration. I'm sorry, guys, there is no Clinton administration, but they've created this derangement in the Trump administration and in Fox News because that's what they're paid to do. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is paid to be a liar, a professional lies. A professional liar. Right, a master of half-truths. That's what Sarah Huckabee Sanders is paid to do. But you have other people who are inadvertently doing the same thing because in their mind, they cannot figure out how the hell am I going to exist when everything that I created, everything that I worked on for the last year and the last 2 years has been in complete and total opposition to Hillary Clinton. Man, some of y'all need some post-Hillary Clinton, postpartum depression from Hillary Clinton. Like, y'all done gave birth to the Trump administration, and it's like y'all don't know what the hell to do. Y'all feel lost and empty on the inside because you no longer are carrying that baby. Oh, sweet Jesus. Sweet Christmas, man. I don't know if I finished my train of thought, but I hope you got the picture, right? I'm not going into Uranium One. If you want to know why I think Joy Ann Reid was right on Uranium One, go to my episode last week entitled Uranium One. I took an entire hour to do it, and Joy Ann Reid was right. She probably is wrong right now. Somewhere she's tweeting something that's wrong that should be clapped back against, right? And she blocked me, so I wouldn't even know. She's probably wrong right now. She's probably sitting at home eating dinner saying something that's stupid. But she wasn't wrong about the Uranium One deal.